So our Guru Varga, so all these sons of devotees, and to our exalted guests, and heart-wrenching speaker, Sri Siddhanti Maharaj, and I had planned, because the day was coming on Saturday, some esoteric talk, quoting shlokas and this and that, but Maharaj mentioned the other day, he prefers things from the heart, personal things. So I was busily writing down today, thinking he may call me some experiences I had with Gurudeva, and that'll be my offering, and then I have a heartfelt prayer to offer to the Srila Gurudeva. One thing that happened with myself, with Gurudeva and myself, was I had written this, I think K.K. Baldwin remembers, I had written this mock version of Don't Go to the Banks of Yamuna. So I sent it out on the internet. It's Don't Go to the Banks of Dry Creek this summer. I never mentioned any names. I said, because they're a very tricky person. We'll be capturing hearts on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and offering them to Radha Govindana. And I said, don't hear his Harikatha, because it may cause you to realize how little you know about your own spiritual master's teaching. Avoid, in all means, his touch, because you may find yourself weeping for no apparent reason. And I went on with a whole list of things. And then sure enough, it went to Gurudeva, and I get a letter back, and he says, thank you for the warning. I was not going to come, but I already bought my ticket. So that was one. I wrote a letter to Gurudeva once. I said, Gurudeva, I don't have realization that everything is sweet about Krishna, but I believe you and I want to. And he wrote back, he said, yes, Krishna is the sweetest person, but it takes a long time and a lot of practice to realize it. And when I was in New York with Gurudeva, he kind of liked this question. I asked, how is hearing service? I can understand how sweeping a floor is service, but how is hearing service? And he said, whatever is pleasing to Shri Guru, that is service. And he mentioned a whole bunch of things, and he said, you were thinking, oh, how beautiful is Vrindavan. Is Gurudeva pleased? I said, yes. He said, well, that is service. So our whole conception of service has to be adjusted in light of what pleases Gurudeva. This is a personal experience. I will share it. It was 1987, I went to Navadvip. I took Radha to meet Gurudeva for the first time. We went to Gurudeva, where there were thousands of people in the courtyard, thousands, literally. And all of a sudden I look up, and there's Gurudeva. And he gives me one of those laser glances, and it was very, very bewildering, very knocked me over. And then I turned around and looked back at Gurudeva, and the next thing I know, there's a tapping on my shoulder, and affectionate. And next thing I knew, I was weeping like anything. I don't know what happened. It was involuntary. But the first thing that came out of my soul was, I need a guardian. And I never used that word before in my life. So somehow Gurudeva was trying to inject something into my heart, that he was my guardian. Some school and community comments. Name of the only instructions, the way the school thing happened, we had a school in Braja, but I pulled out because I felt there wasn't enough support and so many reasons. And then Gopanandini and I went to see Gurudeva in his room here in Braja. And I said, Gurudeva, we have a plan. Gopanandini will live in Vrindavan, and I'll live in Vrindavan for 6 months and collect money in England. I said, okay. So I thought that was it, and we laughed, and one guy ran out and said, Bhajanjalana, Gurudeva wants you to do a school. I said, I just spoke to Gurudeva. He said, well, so we went back in, and I said, Gurudeva, do you want me to do a school? He said, yes. And I said, I'm not qualified. And he said, I say you're qualified. So what could I say? We did the school, and for a while it was quite a good run. It had its, what do you call, bumps in the road later on. But in the beginning, at the first some odd years when it was a Badger school, it was really beautiful. A lot of love and affection, laughter, and so many things. I was the face of the school. Gopanandini was the brain of the school, and Gurudeva was the heart of the school. And as far as community goes, Gurudeva once was speaking, he said, so it is said that we are social animals. What is the meaning of society? And he defined it as to come together, chant and remember, and develop love and affection for each other, which is what we're doing here now. Then he wrote a letter to me. He said, Badger will become like Vrindavan when we invite devotees into our community and treat them with love and affection. And he also wrote in that letter, associate with more advanced devotees like Kishore. I've taken that one seriously. And what was this last one? Oh, we were in the Bay Area at the Christian monastery, and I it's known throughout the world that I have a heavy mind, and I was feeling I couldn't quite enter in. So all the devotees were in ecstasy. You always think everyone else is getting it, and you're not. So I asked Kishore to bring me up to Gurudeva, and I said, Gurudeva, your classes are really wonderful. Gurudeva goes, but? I said, it's not that, Gurudeva. I get it up here. Can you tell me what's wrong with me? And I was hoping he'd say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. And he said, yes, I will tell you in Badger. But the next day we were at Madhuri's house and Midori's house in Berkeley. It was a very small gathering of devotees, about 10 devotees. And Gurudeva zoned in on me, and I knew this is my answer. He said, do you know the song Gurudeva Kripa Gandhi? I said, yes. He said, can you explain? And I followed my way through, and he said, not like a poet. He said, every day, this prayer should come from the core of your heart. He said, Krishna is everywhere, and so is Gurudev, and they're so eager to give mercy. But the problem is, we do not want. So every day this prayer must come from the core of your heart. And then he said, what is Atma Sattva? I think Maharaj was speaking about that, Atma Sattva. And different devotees tried to answer. And finally he said, it means make me yours. On my own I can't chant, I can't remember, I can't do anything. So you please make me yours. And the fourth verse was, he said, if you don't give mercy, it'll be a bad mark on you. So please give me mercy. On my own I have nothing. You know nothing of value. You know the essence of my existence. So if you don't, and then Vrindavan Vilasini said, and if you're not merciful to me, I will die. And Gurudeva was like that. He said, yes. And it'll be a black mark on you if you're not merciful to me. There were a number of other experiences I had. I didn't get a chance to write them down, but I once went to him in anxiety about the school because it wasn't the same as it had been at one point. And we invited new people from different places. And so I went to Gurudeva, and Gurudeva, he saw this. The problem is, he says, you're thinking of the door, but it's my Shakti. Just become my statue. And then that night we went into a pavilion, and he got some lady that only $10,000. So he was showing me, he was definitely the door, and I had to learn that lesson, which I'm still working on. And anyway, I just want to offer prayer to Gurudeva that he can make the impossible possible. And from the core of my heart, I beg that you remove all the opposing tendencies of my mind and heart and make me yours through and through, serving Radha Govinda Vanitai and all beings. I beg this if you please help me. Thank you.
This should be for you. No. I'm resident here, you're the guest. So, next on the list, Rishabh Prabhu, very senior disciple of the Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who served Srila Gurudeva and associated with him so much, and he drove for Gurudeva a couple of times. I remember one of your very beautiful offering in Braja festival when you're driving for Srila Gurudev. I think it was LA, and you chose that the privileged lane. That story I repeat this in many places. I remember how Srila Gurudev said, "Why we are going fast and everyone is so slow?" And he said, because Gurudev, this is a privileged lane where 3 or more, 2 or more people sit and they can use this lane. And Gurudev said, that's the strength of association. It goes fast. Yes?
Yes.
I heard from you.
Yes, exactly. Gurudev saw everything in the spiritual light. Gyan Timarandasya Gyanam Samashalakaya Chakshunanandam Shri Gurudeva. From my eternal obeisances to all my gurus, Srila Prabhupada, my divine Diksha Guru, especially Srila Gurudeva, my divine Shiksha Guru. Actually, Shri Guru, I heard this from Gurudeva personally, that the glory of Shri Guru is to see him in relationship to his Guru on up. And even Krishna himself, his glory is all the devotees that surround him, all the love that is there, produced by the devotion and the beauty they see in Krishna from that love, the bliss that comes, all that. So Krishna's glories are actually understood by all the loving devotees around him. And so Srila Prabhupada was in a generation of devotees who come to know by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, especially, how important it is to understand all of those associates of our spiritual master. But among them, Srila Gurudeva told me, he said that of all the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he said, your Prabhupada understood what he wanted and he did it. And the Acharya, as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada has said, that is, the world Acharya is by nature unconventional. And so they do things that are unprecedented. They have the authority, they're empowered by the Parampara to adjust for the particular time and circumstance that they're in. But because of that criticism, oh, what are you doing? This has never been done before. Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati rode in cars. That was unprecedented. Srila Prabhupada engaged so many ladies in the West for jari work, book distribution, giving jail. He did things that were very unprecedented because he was very bold in his preaching. And Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Prabhupada wanted him to be a Acharya. Many wanted him to be a Acharya. No. I won't take that mantle. I want to sit in the back bench. He was qualified. But because our Srila Prabhupada wanted him to have that position, after my Prabhupada's disappearance, it fell upon him anyway, because he said to the devotees, if you need guidance, go to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And so the whole world went to him. Prabhupada went out to the whole world. The whole world went to him. And it wasn't just Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. When Prabhupada was at his last, he came to visit him. And Srila Prabhupada had one last request. Please, you take the prasadam that is made by the hands of my Western devotees, and please honor that. And he writes about this. You can correct me if you wish, Maharaj. But he writes that after having done that, he said, my whole conception of having been born and brought, everything went away. And the whole world came to him. Also, he didn't have to leave India. He became Jagat Guru, the whole world is coming to him. So that is some of the glories of Prabhupada, that he was able to, by his own presence, bring the world to these disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And so that generation, there was actually only a few who during his lifetime, during Prabhupada's lifetime, accepted what he was doing. But those very spiritual masters are whom we all worship now, today. And so the succeeding generation of devotees, that next generation, the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. I can easily say, Srila Gurudeva, that among all the followers of my Srila Prabhupada, you understood what he wanted, and you did. No one even comes close. He's 60 literature, 60 books he has given to the world, traveling around so many times, 30 times around the world, thousands and thousands of disciples around the world, and thousands more in India. And he showed by his Acharya Leela that he did something very bold and daring. He brought to everyone, in public speaking, the most intimate understanding of the glories of Krishna in the core of creation, in the very confidential parts of creation, the confidential leelas that exist there. And he said, I did this at great risk. To do this, am I going to create savages? But this has to be done. It has to be done. Otherwise it will be lost. And so he did that. He is criticized so much for that. But who cares for such criticism? His glories will remain. The criticism will be forgotten. And that's exactly where we are at in this world. And so far as so many personal dealings, a lot of them show his mystic prowess. And I'd love to say, but some of them are just too personal, and just rather kept. But know that Gurudeva is so quick. He's a mystic that is so quick. I've never met anyone like that, where he just knows your mind, and the conversations are so quick. I could not keep up. Even Madhava Maharaj, he liked, the banter, like, Srila Gurudeva was just too quick. You just be speechless after having engagements with him. He was so kind to my god brothers, my god sisters. We were locked for 20 years. Those who didn't go to India, like myself, we were bereft of association of Srila Vaishnavas, and especially of one who really, really did imbibe what Prabhupada wanted. He was requested by Srila Prabhupada, please look after my disciples. In his hand, he held his hand, and he asked, please care for them. And Gurudeva knew what a big request that was, and at first he was hesitant when Prabhupada said, you must, and he said, I will do to the best of my ability. Unfortunately, his ability is very great. And he continues to help us. Those books that he has written are read by everyone, even within Islam, even those that say, as Prabhu was saying, oh, don't go there. But so many went. They wouldn't even they wouldn't disclose it. But his books were read by all the leaders while they were in. They were giving lectures, even writing their own books without giving credit, because Gurudeva had such a powerful influence, because he was the successor, Acharya, of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement. And that's even stated, in the Encyclopedia of Hinduism. He's given that honor. So, Srila Gurudeva, I know that, so many want to create an empire of institutions. But you created an empire of hearts, and you're taking them into a place which is a realm way beyond this material world. There are those that want to find their place and position here, but you always encourage us, don't look at this place. Don't look at this place. Look within and look higher and join me there. And because you're already there, you can bring us there. And I just hope that that your love will approach me. I see that those who even have a sentimental idea of Srila Gurudev, love for Gurudev brings him up to the highest point. Just that's how powerful he is. Just having a simple love for Srila Gurudev will do that without any other qualification. So I hope that qualification comes to this heart. And by your own example, by your own love for us, it can come. So on this day, actually 2 days from now, I appreciate that, that you have that power. And I just have to open my heart to that. And may that come, and may your appearance be every day, within this heart. Thank you, Srila.
So I'm not really ready, but since I've been called on, I have to be ready. Namo Vishwavaya Radhikaya Prabhadesh Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Chidamani Namo Vishwavaya Krishna Staya Vachale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Chidamani. In a few days it'll be Gurudev's appearance day. And the appearance day is a joyful event. But they say that when it's a disappearance day, it's also a joyful event. But I feel like to some degree it's a sad event. So, existing in this material world, I've experienced trauma and tragedy, heartache and heartbreak. My heart is broken. Gurudev, you heard our hearts crying. Your heart is so soft and compassionate that you came to us again and again, year after year, city after city, country after country, despite so much discomfort and inconvenience to you, you came and gave your heart to us. You gave your heart to us in so many ways. Just your presence, your merciful glances, your sweet, profound, unlimited blessings, your burning chastisement, the prime atoms that emanate out from you to us like sunlight. We want to bask in those rays of love from your heart. Even my mother, who didn't know anything about you, when you met her, you gave her your heart. You said to her, "Oh, you are my mother." And she said, "You're too old for me to be your mother." But then later she told me, "Your guru, when I sit in front of him, I can feel that real love comes out from him." You gave her that realization. I wasn't going to say this, but I will. When my mother went to go say goodbye to Gurudeva, she leaned over and kissed him on the cheek. And Manav Maharaj and Braja reached over to try to stop her. And I was mortified.
Babaji tried to do that too.
But my mother did it. But then I thought, like years and years later, well, he told her she's his mother. So she was just overcome by him.
It was okay.
So, anyways, Gurudeva, you made yourself available to us in your morning walks, your personal darshans, your home visits, to give us so much from your heart. You want to give us your heart and the treasures that are hidden within. You asked Shamarani, "Can you paint my heart?" And then you instructed her to paint Sevakunj and the Manjaris and guided her to paint it, giving us a portal, a window to your heart. You told her this painting will become world famous, and it has. And this vision you have given to the entire world. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana, the prema of Raj permeating its every sloka. Gurudeva, you gave a series of classes in Badger in 1999 on Srimad Bhagavatam, and those classes were compiled in a book titled The Secret Truths of the Bhagavatam. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from a person who is similarly spotless, who has that prema in his heart, we can receive the true message and our hearts will be transformed. Gauravani Pracharine, you gave us the meaning of Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra, which was hidden. You explained the mantra to reveal to us Srila Prabhupada's heart's desire in his mission and his exalted position in our parampara. And our parampara, you have taught us about our parampara. You have shown to us our parampara and how we are connected to all these personalities, unlimited personalities. And I want to list them all, but I'm afraid I'm going to miss somebody. So I'm not going to. Gauravani Pracharane, Gaurabhakta Vrinda. What else did you give us, Gurudev, from your heart? The distinctive contribution of Rupa Goswami. What did Srila Rupa Goswami come to give? Because Rupa Goswami understood the heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I wanted to find more things that he gave us, but I didn't. So, Gurudev, you are giving us the heart of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, this is what I wrote. Your Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Srila Prabhupada, your Param Gurudev, Srila Gaurkishore Babaji, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the six Goswamis, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Srila Vamana Maharaj, and Gaur Bhaktivinoda, because I didn't have time to put it all in order. Okay, so finally, O Gurudev, you are mending my broken heart. But actually, I want you to break my heart. I want you to break the knots of attachment to this world. I want you to break my nartas. I want you to break my disinterest. I want you to break my distraction. I want you to break my forgetfulness. I want you to take away my obstacles. I want you to break this heart. And I want you to make my heart to datmik with yours. And please, please, don't take so long.
You're so demanding.
What's that?
You're so demanding.
Yeah, well, I'm a dear darling daughter. So anyways, yes, that's my prayer, Gurudev. Please make my heart to datmik with yours. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.
That's wonderful. Covered so many of Gurudev's glories.
And Gurudev said you want 2 tears, right? And here they are. Thank you for the association of all of these beautiful devotees that have nourished my heart and given me shelter and showed me what bhakti is and inspired a desire for me to continue on this path and pray that pure bhakti will come in my heart. And 2 more tears. And no more words, but just much gratitude for all of you and for our Guru Parampara. Sri Prabhupada and Sri Gurudev have taught me to understand more and more and to take shelter of more and more. Thank you.
Back to me. Hare Krishna. Tears speaks more louder and better than words. The aim and object of speaking is to get tears in the heart. Bhagavatam says, Tadasham saram hide nitedam yidrinam harinam deha. When the heart melts, then tear comes in the eyes. We have seen Gurudev when he used to remember his Guru Maharaj the first day of Kartik, and also in Navadip Parikrama. Gurudev used to say it's so difficult to understand the glories of Guru. After serving my Guru Maharaj for so many years, but performing Brajmandal Parikrama for so many years, now I'm coming to understand what he has given to me. It's not that easy. Oh, I'm disciple of so-and-so Gurudev. He gave me so much love. He gave me so much honor. He clapped for me. But Gurudev used to say, the attachment to Shri Guru is the only purpose of a disciple. Gurudev used to say, and this can only happen by serving. Attachment leads to love. And for love, we need sacrifice. Love cannot be without sacrifice. How Shri Gurudev, his Gurudev has sacrificed so much. We hear about Srila Haridas Thakur. क्यों करे आचार ना करे प्रचार, प्रचार करे ना करे आचार, आचार प्रचार नामे दुई कार्जे, तुम्ही जगत गुरु तुम्ही जगत आर्जे. For Srila Haridas Thakur, you are Jagat Guru. The verse says, many they follow principles but they don't preach. But there are some who preach but they don't follow. But oh Haridas Thakur, you practice and preach. Therefore, you are Jagat Guru, the Guru of the entire universe. That means, practice means Bhajana Nandi. And preaching means Goshta Nandi. And we see in the life of Srila Gurudev, Bhajana Nandi and Goshta Nandi together. When Param Gurudev assigned to him such difficult and challenging task to take care of Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Math Mathura, was not in a good shape. There was not enough finance. And no one was even entering in that temple, claiming that this is temple of Bengalis and they are very expert in black magic. Everyone was scared to even enter the temple. And Srila Gurudev took this responsibility. When I say responsibility this word responsibility means full of gravity. And related to this, the words by Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj saying that all sevakas are not seen. They are volunteers and they are sevakas. Looks like both of them they are serving. And what is the difference? Volunteer means I'm in a good mood, today I'm going to come and serve deities. I'm not in a good mood, so I'll see you next week. It's called volunteer. I volunteer this service. So that volunteer are not in the category of sevakas. Srila Bharati Maharaj, very strong. Sevaka is one who takes responsibility. No matter if he is sick or healthy, good mood or bad mood. But I have to do this. I am responsible for this. That means responsibility. Both are not awarded equally. Volunteer and sevaka. What is the difference? Volunteer means no responsibility. Moody. And sevaka means one who take responsibility no matter what happens. I have to do this. Even if it is storm, snowstorm, rain, cold, hot, whatever. I am responsible for this. In accomplishing any seva, there is always some hard times. Because obviously, we are attempting to serve Krishna, whose nature is transcendental and our nature is material. There is no compatibility between material and transcendental. Therefore, we come across hard times. But just because of the fear, the hard time going to come, if I take a responsibility, then according to Srila Maharaj, it's not sevaka. As Srila Bhakti Thakur is singing, Tomar sevai dukh hai jata, saito param sukha. And then bhajan, oh Krishna, in your service, whatever troubles, difficulties I'm coming along, I'm encountering all those troubles and difficulties. There's a source of my happiness because you are the center of that trouble, or you are the center of that obstacle. And for you, not for my sake, for your sake, for you as a center, I'm ready to follow anything, no matter what comes on my way, because you are the center. And when Krishna is the center, then Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Atmindi pritivancha tate bole kam. Krishnendu pritivancha dhare premanam. If my senses, my mind, my moods is the center of my service, that's not prema. That is my enjoyment, or we can say lust. Krishnende pritivancha dhare premanam. When Krishna is the center, and all services and all moods and all emotions, all endeavors and efforts are there to please his senses. Now in that pleasing his senses means seva. And for that obstacles, many difficulties. But you are the center of this. Dhare premanam. Then we are progressing on the stage of prema. Attachment to Krishna. So isn't it we have to sacrifice for that? We want to make everything easy going. Without sacrifice, I'm just on my bed, I want Krishna here. That's a common saying in India. I want to get Bhagwan, I want to get Krishna, just lying on my bed. That not going to work. Where is your sacrifice? Sacrifice leads to attachment, and attachment leads to prema. Srila Gurudeva, obeying the order of Param Guru Maharaj, as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see, if we go very detailed and depth the life of Srila Gurudeva, and if we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastimes of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the instructions he has given to the Goswamis, is so much relate to each other. Mahaprabhu gave order to the Goswamis, to Loknath Goswami, Bhogar Goswami, Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jeev Goswami to go Braj. And to do what? Discover lost holy places. Is that easy? Param Gurudev gave order to Gurudev to take care of Mathura Ji Keshav Ji Gaudiya, which was not in a good shape. And Srila Gurudev took this as order of Param Guru Maharaj, obeying this order because Agya Guru Haya Avicharniya. That's the Shastras. Obeying the order of Gurudev without any other thought, without any other consideration. Agya Guru Haya Avicharniya. I heard years back, maybe it's written somewhere in the life history of Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Once upon a time, lamenting Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said, my Guru Maharaj ordered me to go Western world to preach. And I was thinking about this order, not immediately executing the order. I delayed in executing that order. I think I offended my Guru Maharaj. Out of so much emotion and humility, he is saying this. But now I'm not going to stop. I've realized, Agya Guru Haya Avicharniya. Without any consideration, a disciple is supposed to follow the order of Guru. Without any single thought. And because I offend my Guru Maharaj, now I'm not going to stop. And I will go Western world and I will preach. Tireless, endless preaching, non-stop preaching. And even though Vrindavan is my home, but I will not stop. And if I die in Western world, I don't care, because in this way I can repay the debt of my Guru Maharaj, because I delayed in executing his order. With so much humility and tears in his eyes, he's showing his gratitude. Gurudev also, it was not easy. Many people, they want to imitate the life of Acharya. And when I say imitate life of Acharya, means, Acharya means a very comfortable zone. So many disciples around getting good praise. I can ask anyone to stand and speak. My all comforts are there. My bed is going to be arranged. My prasadam is arranged. Everything is imitating Acharya. Imitating Acharya Leela. But the challenge is to imitate that Acharya Sadhak Leela. That Bhajna Nandi Leela. It's so good. It's so easy to imitate Gurudev. As me Acharya. I want someone's shoulder to keep my hand on. I want someone to do my laundry. Acharya, because he's in a comfortable zone. But that's so foolish to understand. Foolish to say this. That he's in a comfortable zone. He's full of responsibility. And Gurudev said in one of his room conversation, when you will become Guru, then you will understand how much responsible you are. You have to take responsibility of all disciples. And that's why Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, we heard about his glories. He used to chant 100,000 names, 64 rounds as his bhajan, and other 64 rounds for his disciples. Because I have given them initiation and I am responsible for their deliverance. And they can't chant that much. So he used to chant on behalf of his disciples. It's not that easy. There's so much responsibility. Srila Gurudev, he took this responsibility. So, imitating that Acharya Leela, but imitating that Bhajan Leela, how Srila Gurudev took this so challenging to look after Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Math. That order of Param Gurudev is life and soul. To get aligned with the order of one's Gurudev and make that order life and soul, then it's fun. Fun means realizations. If I don't step in fire, how am I going to realize that fire can burn me? And I'm saying this, that means realizing by fulfilling the order or obeying the order of Guru, then one can realize this. And Gurudev said a couple of times, I am realizing the glories of my Guru Maharaj. What he has given to me and how he has uplifted me from that situation. He is teaching us by saying this. Being eternal associate of Param Gurudev. No money in the center. And he used to go out with 2-3 brahmacharis, literally telling people to host programs. We don't want any donations. We're just here to speak something to you. So reluctant. People in Mathura hosting Srila Gurudev. Because, he's from Bengali Math. Means they know black magic. But seeing Srila Gurudev speaking fluent Hindi, and his love and affection, his aura, his vibes, so transcendental. Some people in Mathura started getting attracted to Srila Gurudev. And now they're telling their neighbors and friends. And I heard when I was in Keshavji Gaudiya Math, Sri Gurudev used to do 4 house programs. And people started giving some grocery to him. Rice, dal, flour, all this. And without paying a penny to the rickshaw, he used to carry on his shoulder, bringing all that. Along with his brahmacharis. That's why Srila Gurudev used to say, I'm eternally indebted to Mathuravasis because they have given a lot to me. And while staying in Mathura, those Mathuravasis, they don't even know that the glories of Braj Bhav. And Gurudev is giving this, speaking from the commentaries of Vishnu Chakra Thakur and giving them information. Even those who born in Mathura, they don't know where Krishna is born. They have this idea that Krishna is born in Mathura. But Gurudev used to give evidence, no. He born in Gokul. Even scholars, the Pandits, Sanskrit scholars, because Srila Gurudev used to host Ishtagoshti, means a conference on Janmashtami, days before, prior to Janmashtami. He used to invite all those scholars. And Gurudev used to make his brahmacharis speak on Krishna Tattva. And all these Sanskrit scholars, Sapta Tirtha, this is like very high designations. When they hear the brahmachari speaking so fluent on Krishna Tattva, they were all surprised. And with such humble mood, Gurudev used to conclude the assembly by giving evidence that Krishna is born in Gokul, not Mathura. But they don't believe. How is possible? They are Sanskrit scholars. But they believe that Krishna is born in Mathura. And Gurudev used to give evidence from Bhagavatam, and no one can cross Bhagavatam. Praman Amalam Yad Vaishnav Nam Priyam. The best evidence. Srila Gurudev said in those conferences, sometime when I was with him, when I joined Srila Gurudev, I mean to say, I was very new, and for these topics were so high for me. All this evidence what Gurudev used to speak from Bhagavatam, So many verses. He said Bhagavatam proves Krishna born in Gokul. It's an example one. Evidence one. The words spoken by Brahma, 10th canto, the first verse in Brahma Stuti. No medyate avarkushu tadidambaraya gunjavata paripicha sanmukhaya vane sajr kavla ravetra vishanu venu lakshmi she medupade pashu pankajaya. With Brahma, when he realized that, oh, I offended Krishna, he paid obeisances to Krishna. The first verse itself proves, Brahma is proving that Krishna, you are the son of Pashu Pankajaya, means you are son of maintainer of cows. So who is the maintainer of cows? Vasudev Maharaj or Nand Maharaj? Vasudev Maharaj is not maintaining cows. It's Nand Maharaj. Oh Krishna, your beauty, just like dark rain clouds. And just like this lightning, you are wearing yellow garment, pitambar. And you are son of Pashu Pankajaya, the maintainer of cows. That's Nanda Maharaj. Gurudeva said, how can you cross this? Brahma cannot tell lies. The words spoken by Shukdev Goswami. The first verse of Nandutsav. Nandastu Atmaj Utpanne Jat Halat Mahamana Ayu Vipravedya Snat Suchir Alamkrita. Nandastu Atmaj Utpanne. Shukdev Goswami cannot tell lies. He said, Nandastu Atmaj Utpanne. Oh Nand Maharaj, Krishna is your son. It's not that you brought him from somewhere else, from Mathura. He's your son, your Atmaj. You know Atmaj means? Atma hi jayate putraha. That's scriptures. Atma hi jayate putraha means father own son, the own soul take birth as son. That's scriptures. Father's own soul take birth as son. Atma hi jayate putraha. So Nandastu Atmaj Utpanne. He's your Atmaj, he's your son. Shukdev Goswami proves this. Who can cross the words of Shukdev Goswami? Then another verse, Gargacharyaji, who came to give name ceremony of two boys, the son of Yashoda Maya and son of Rauni Maya. Gargacharyaji said, Nandastu Atmaj Utpanne Jat Haladavakna. That is Shukdev Goswami. So Gargacharya said, Narayan Samogunaha. Forgetting the first word. But Narayan Samogunaha. Gargacharya is saying, Krishna is your son and his qualities are more than Narayan. But Nand Maharaj is taking with his own understanding that, oh, Gargacharya is saying that don't get bewildered because sometimes the qualities of Narayan reflect on your son. In future he is going to do very big pastimes and the qualities of Narayan will reflect on your son. So don't get bewildered. But actually Gargacharya want to say the qualities of your son Krishna is more than the qualities of Narayan. So Gargacharya also proved by giving name ceremony. Krishna. Asan varnos tohiyasya grintam anuyugantanum shukla rakta tathapitam idanam krishitam lata. Krishna. How can you cross the words of Gargacharya? And Shukdev Goswami said, Jayati Jan Nivaso Devki Janvado. Jayati Jan Nivaso. Krishna is born in Braj. And Devki Janvado. There's only Vivada and argument that Krishna took birth from Devaki. It's just Vivada, just argument. all this evidence. And finally Guru said, Braj Gopis, the first verse of Gopi Geet, Jayati Tedikam Janmana Braja. Krishna, you have taken birth in Braj, not in Mathura. These are few evidence which I remember, but Gurudev used to give a list for 1 hour. So Bhagavatam, from Vedas, for Puranas and all this. And he proves, and all the scholars there get blown on. What? And he proves Krishna is son of Nanda Maharaj, not Vasudeva Maharaj, and is born in Gokul. When all this assembly was like 3 hours every day, when the assembly is over, we used to serve prasadam to all these scholars. And while eating, we used to hear them speaking, Narayan Maharaj is big scholar. They used to say, oh, Narayan Maharaj is big scholar. So this is how, while staying in Mathura, he established, what established? Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Means the doctrine of, or the mood of Sri Rupa Goswami. How this is in relation with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami was writing a drama. And Satyabhama, she came in the dream and he said, make a separate drama. Lalit Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav. Satyabhama told Rupa Goswami in dream. Another drama. Don't mix up together. Means Braj pastime and Dwarka pastime. And Shri Rupa Goswami met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu told Rupa, don't take Krishna out of Braj. So Rupa Goswami is trying to relate this. What I got in dream, and Mahaprabhu also ordered me the same. That's our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Krishna is born in Braj. Jayati Tedikam Janmana Braja. Shri Gurudev, he used to establish the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. In other words, being a representative of the entire Guru Parampara and establishing the philosophy of Rupa Goswami and the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To whom? Those people who are not aware of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Mathura, all these scholars, they are not familiar with this. Gurudev introduced Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami. This is called the best service to Guru Parampara. The best service to Guru Maharaj is Guru Maharaj. As Param Gurudev was also very bold and fearlessly preaching, without compromising anything, speaking directly, philosophy. You like it or you don't like it, but this is the philosophy. You have to like it. Srila Gurudev was also speaking this. So, he was acting as Bhajananandi and also as Goshtanandi. His bhajan, getting up in the morning, early morning, and completing his 64 rounds, and then he used to eat or drink something. Gurudev was so strong. I heard from Premanand Prabhu describing this, that in the morning there's a system in the center. There used to be, it has to be singing and some harikatha in the morning and evening. And after Mangal Arati, mostly brahmacharis, they used to go and sleep, especially in winters. No one is there in the kirtan session. And Gurudev didn't like this idea. He used to come and see there is no one. And Gurudev going in the kitchen and telling Premanand Prabhu, today no breakfast. So strict. If they are not in the kirtan, they cannot have. Let them fast. And Prabhuji was very kind. Oh, it's okay. young boys, they need some rest. I will explain them. I'm telling you, no cooking. And Prabhuji is saying, oh no. Okay, you go in your room. I'm not going to cook. Don't worry. He closed kitchen door and he started cooking. He was cooking. And after a while, Gurudev heard some sound from kitchen again. Again, I told you no cooking. And Gurudev used to take a bucket of water and put on the stove. You can't cook. Today, no breakfast. They have to learn like this. And around 9 o'clock, a bell rings. And that's like breakfast prasad. All brahmacharis hearing this bell, they coming with their plates and sitting there and chanting Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave and shouting. Why delaying? Bring prasad. Why there's delay today in breakfast? And Gurudev used to come out from his room. Who wants breakfast? And everyone is quiet because they know breakfast is going to be served. Gurudev said, no breakfast today. And I'm making this a regulation. If you don't come for kirtan in the morning, no breakfast. You have to fast. You have to fast. And just because of that, everyone next day in the kirtan. And Gurudev used to watch from his room, who is there, who is not there. So keep an eye on each and every brahmachari. It's for affection. It looks like this is Gurudev's anger and is strict, but actually is affection. He wants all brahmacharis to learn the kirtans and shlokas, verses. He used to tell us, brahmacharis, you have to learn every day at least 2 or 3 shlokas. Every day. Very strict in that sense. So along with these brahmacharis, going door to door, speaking Hari Katha, not for the sake of Bhiksha, but speaking Hari Katha and establishing Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy in Mathura when they are not aware of the Braj Bhav, the moods of the gopis. So, how Srila Gurudeva was so bhajanamandi. Sometimes he used to fast all day. 4-5 times Hari Katha. When he is not going out for preaching in house programs, then in the center itself, 5 Hari Katha. 1 Hari Katha after Mangal Aarti. Immediately after Mangal Aarti, 1 Hari Katha. Then another Hari Katha from 8 to 9. Then 11 to 12. Then the evening, 5 to 6. And 1 after Prasadam, 8:30. And all the brahmacharis, just like only with brahmachari section. Massaging Srila Gurudeva and used to ask, what you heard this morning? What you heard? What verse? What is the meaning of that verse? And then Hari Katha. 5 Hari Katha. 5 times Hari Katha. This is how he was giving training. Because Gurudev used to say, Guru never make servant, Guru makes Guru. I want all of you to go and preach. And that's why his name is Narayan. Narayan means, Ayan means shelter. Shelter of all the jivas. Means one, such an acharya who gave shelter to so many devotees. Not only his disciples, but disciples of so many other acharyas. Me, disciple of Shri Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj, Gurudev gave shelter. Gurudev gave shelter to disciples of Bhakti Siddhanti Gosai Maharaj, disciples of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, disciples of Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Gosai Maharaj. You know? So many acharyas. One who gave shelter. How can we forget his greatness? And without being biased, no partial, I can tell you my own experience. You know, there are 2 points how we can glorify an Acharya. His contributions and his pastimes, his memories, but those pastime memories should supposed to be with some teachings. Otherwise, it remains like on a very emotional level. But every activity of Acharya, every interaction of Acharya, like Srila Gurudev, there is some teaching. My personal experience. When my Guru Maharaj left this world, 1999, we came to Srila Gurudev year 2000. And with so much joy, he just embraced, he accepted, yes, come and stay with brahmacharis and learn. Not that he's like pulling, you come and stay in my center because I want to increase the number of my brahmacharis. Was not that mood at all. From my heart, honestly tell you. Because I want you to get training. This was the mood of Sri Gurudev. Not only brahmacharis, even his female disciples, his daughters. He wants everyone to become fluent in verses and speaking Harikatha. Everyone. Brahmacharis, grastas, sannyasis, daughters, young ones, everyone. He wants everyone to speak Harikatha boldly, with Siddhanta, philosophy, Gaudiya philosophy. So once upon a time, it happened, so one of Srila Gurudev's disciples, he became little envious. Because Gurudev put us on publication, and that's also a story. We have never had any experience with publication. And one day, Gurudev called on me and my godbrother, Madhavya Prabhu. I want both of you to contribute and work on my publication. And, no experience, Gurudev. You will learn very quick. And he told me, you take computer. I said, computer? In our school days, no computers. I don't know how to type. I don't know anything. Gurudev said, you will learn in 1 month. Gradually you will learn everything, but I want both of you to work in my publication. So anyhow, we started learning and we were serving Srila Gurudev in his publication, his dictations and all that. So his own disciple, he became little envious. Why my Guru Maharaj always calling them? Why they have access to the room without being stopped? They can go, we can go anytime for any question or publication or some printouts or things like that. And not only that, Gurudev used to call from Hawaii. What's happening with publication? The moment we hear Gurudev on the call, like boss is calling, everyone jumping. And his strict order. I want this book to get print when I'm coming back. And the whole team get activated, like, in 1 month, the book has to be there on the table. Everyone. So, the entire publication team get fired up, hearing this order, and inspired. So this brahmachari started spreading in the temple, Mathura. Why Guruji giving so much importance to them? They are not from our mat. They are from other mat. They are disciple of some other Guru. And this is our Gurudev mat. We should get that importance. So we started, spreading this, filling the ears. When Gurudev came back from Western tour in Mathura, and that's also grand celebration when he used to come, all the devotees were like cleaning temple for so many days, and brahmachari sannyasis singing and dancing hours and hours to welcome him. Anyhow, when Gurudev came in the room, his sevak told, this is what's happening in the temple, and this brahmachari is speaking so bad about me and my godmother, saying that they are not from our mutt and they are outsiders. And Gurudeva said, call him. So this sevak, loudly he called, Prabhu, I'm not telling his name. Prabhu, Gurudeva is calling you. And he said, oh wow, Gurudeva is calling me. Maybe he wants to see the new patrika, the new magazine. And he brought the new magazine and he entered in the room, paid obeisances to Gurudeva and said, Gurudev, this is the new magazine. And Gurudev looked at him and gave a tight slap on his face. So tight, he fell on the ground. And said, come here. Gurudev said, come here. And then he pulled his ears. If I will hear this again, you saying that they are from another mutt and they don't belong to my mutt, I will just kick you out from the center. You're not my disciple, they are my disciple. I never ever thought in my life that he's mine or he's not mine. They all are mine. They are here to learn. And I've taken the responsibility. I heard this personally from Srila Gurudev speaking this. My goodness, heart was melting to hear this. If you ever say this again, I will kick you out from my center. You're not allowed. I'm not partial. You thinking like this. I'm not thinking like this. They're mine. You are mine, they're mine. We all are equal. And I have no any differentiation. I'm not partial to anyone. Gurudev said this. So Narayan, one who gives shelter to everyone equally. This brahmachari, he was crying and weeping, and Gurudev said, ask forgiveness from them. And he was, no, we just gave tight hug of this. Gurudev said, this center is for everyone. Just like Swami Prabhupada said, I made a home where the entire world comes and stay. Srila Gurudev said, this center is for everyone. And this is a learning center, this is a training center. So much love and affection. He never took us that we are from other Gurudev. He always used to say, they are my disciples. And we never ever thought he's not our Guru Dev. And my Guru Maharaj is only my Guru Dev. Never ever. We keep both of them the same altar on the same level. Whereas I can boldly say, I got very little association from my Guru Maharaj. Very little. Just 2 years, 3 years maximum. And that too, very short. After initiation, Guru Maharaj sent me to Vrindavan to take care of the center. But whatever services we got, the sevas we got, learning we got, and all this beautiful scriptures, all this seva is the mercy of Shri Gurudev. Mercy of Shri Gurudev. And that's why when we used to hear this from Srila Gurudev, that sometimes Shiksha Guru becomes more prominent. I boldly can say this. Yes. Even though my Guru Maharaj is Shri Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj, but what I have learned, what I have got, everything is from Shri Gurudev. More prominent. So there is no difference between Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. We don't have to see this difference at all. They are not seeing this difference. Why we have to make this difference? To create a problem in the society? Distraction? This is a very gross, and it's not even a Vaishnava etiquette. It's not a Vaishnava etiquette. There is no difference in that spiritual realm, in that mature level. No difference at all. Srila Gurudev used to say, I am first disciple of your Guru Maharaj. And he used to also say, I am first disciple or very close friend of Swami Prabhupada. I served him. Boldly saying this. Boldly saying this because actually he did. So this is Bhajananandi and Goshtanandi together. There are many acharyas who are only Bhajananandi. Many acharyas only Goshtanandi. But Srila Gurudev, Bhajananandi and Goshtanandi together. His bhajan, high class bhajan. I remember Gurudev used to complain that my head is spinning. And we call upon doctor and he's asking what you do, what time you get up. And Gurudev say, I sometime 2 o'clock, sometime 2:30. And then doctor used to say, you're not even drinking water. You're not even eating. You're not taking care of your health. And his chanting means absorption. Absorption. Midnight he used to open book and read. Something in his meditation he wants to get confirmation. The commentaries of Vishnu Chakra Thakur. The library in his room. How intense bhajan is that? Meditation. And he used to come out with some point. This is some meditation. This is his bhajan. Yeah. Serving Guru Maharaj is his bhajan. And expressing that, speaking that, is his preaching. So when bhajan and preaching come aligned together, this we have seen in Srila Gurudev. Not only preaching, but he also realized this by showing us how we have to do, how we have to maintain our sadhana, our practice, chanting, reading scriptures, learning. And when he started preaching, although he was preaching, but I can say vast preaching, very intense preaching, the age when we start thinking now we should retire. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. I'm just taking their names, but actually this is true with so many other acharyas also. The age when we start thinking now we should retire, we can't function. They started preaching or moving around the world in that age. Understand? This is bhajan and preaching. That's why entire world, all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, not only Gaudiya Vaishnavas, all Vaishnavas in all other sampradayas, eternally indebted to Sri Gurudev of his contribution of vastly speaking about the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Eternally indebted. A statement I said last year. So many institutions, means Gaudiya Maths, including ISKCON and other Gaudiya Maths. What they are preaching now so openly about Sri Rupa Goswami, the books of Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami Sandarbhas, and the glories of Radharani, and especially the Brajabhav. How they are speaking this? Only by hearing Srila Gurudev's lecture and reading his books. But my only objection is they don't give credit to Gurudev. They don't even utter his name. That's my objection. You're getting something from Gurudev, why not just say openly? Why are you hiding? And they are getting famous. But who is in the background? From where they are learning this? Because these high topics are say not high topics, but actually Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, the doctrine of Sri Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Gurudeva used to speak this openly. And there are thousands of lectures. And all glories to that Seva team, the audio Seva team, Amrish Prabhu and Lavangati, working so hard. Abundance of mercy of Srila Gurudev to them. And all the community indebted to them for their selfless service to Srila Gurudev for this audio Seva. Bringing so many clips and lectures, and everyone is hearing this around the world. Everyone, free access to that, and especially those books of Srila Gurudev, which was his life and soul. I'm witness of that. How Srila Gurudev was so much into those in that publication seva. He used to tell us many times in his room, I want to do this. I know it's challenging for you, and Gurudev used to give this order. This book in 2 months. What's possible? He said, no problem, just print it. Later we'll do corrections. But Gurudev, these books are going under your name. How we can just, as his disciple, as his servant, how we can just produce this with mistakes? He said, no problem, just print. Later edition we will correct. Before I leave this world, I want to introduce all the books of the Goswamis. That's my mission. And he's done so much. So therefore, now everyone is speaking about this, reading Gurudev books, they're hearing his lectures. It's good, and that's why Gurudev said, when I will leave this planet, then they will understand. The world will understand what I have given to this world. When I'm present, they are not understanding. When I will leave, then they will understand. And now you see everywhere, all Vaishnava community, they are aware of Rupa Goswami's, Raghunath Das Goswami's books. Who is in the background? Srila Gurudev's endeavors. They sweat, tirelessly working day and night. I am witness of this. There are many pastimes I am going to share in these days. What I personally witnessed, how he used to write those books in the midnight, and what he goes through without wearing his collar. Hours and hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, just like this, his head writing, and when anyone comes to check on him or see him, and he raises his head and get his head spinning. Because he's too absorbed in that. Don't disturb me. And why he was doing this? He could have easily relished those books. It was available in Bengali, in Sanskrit. But he produced all these books for us. Hindi, English, Spanish, all of the languages. Everyone should know the glories of Mahaprabhu, the glories of Rupa Goswami, and aim and object. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada. My only concern and objection to those preachers, if they are hearing me and listening me, please don't do that. If you are accepting everything from any acharya, do speak about them. Glorify them. What is the fear? Otherwise you are indebted. What is the fear? When we say, oh, Rupa Goswami wrote this, then we don't fear. Or we heard this from Sanatana Goswami in his book, then there is no fear. But what is the fear? That I learned this from Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. What is fear? Just say boldly and accept him as your Shiksha Guru. That's my objection to all those preachers. So, the entire world, the whole Vaishnava community, forever, eternally indebted to Shri Gurudev for his unparalleled contribution in the mission of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Rupa Goswami, and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to that Gurudev. All glories to that Gurudev. And we, so fortunate, he was so personal with us. We are so fortunate. He was throwing diamonds and jewels. But unfortunate nature, we took those diamond jewels as candies. In this Braja festival, he was so much absorbed in Braj Mahal. Speaking, making everyone aware. What is Braj Mahal? Where we have to go one day. That's our aim and object. That's like diamonds, pearls. He was throwing away. But unfortunate person like me took those jewels like the candies. Didn't give any importance. Therefore, vanchitosmi, vanchitosmi, vanchitosmi na sanchaya. Vishwam gore rase magna sparshapi na tad bhavait. Shri Gurudeva Saraswati Thakur said, I'm bereft, I'm bereft, I'm bereft. When Mahaprabhu was giving blessings to everyone, was showering this mercy to everyone, I was just watching. I was not able to take advantage of that situation. I'm bereft of this. Similarly, those who took advantage of this, they are all glorious, most worshipable, respectable. But I was just watching, and I'm bereft of that mercy. I want my life to get rewind another 20 years. And with that same consciousness, if I can get another chance, which I already lost now. I lost that chance. This unfortunate part. If my life can then rewind, I'll be so thankful to Krishna. Rewind that life 20 years. To be in the association of Shri Gurudev, to understand, to serve him, and can understand his contribution with the same consciousness. I will not do this mistake again. But can you please rewind this? I know this cannot be possible. Maybe next life.
Fast forward. Fast forward.
Fast forward. And pray to Gurudev, pray to Mahaprabhu, to Krishna. Chakshudan dilo jai, janme janme prabhu se. Maybe we can get association of Shri Gurudev again and again. Hare Krishna. Vancha Kartuva Sukhita Sambhava Patitanam Pazam Krishna. Shri Gurudeva ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Braja Festival ki Jai. Festival ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So now the boss is here. I was waiting for him. I spoke to some devotees here in Braja because our festival starting from June 19 to June 25. So June 19 is a very auspicious day. That's the day of Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. Yes, the Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri, June 19. So it's just a request, if we can also do something like that in remembrance of Rath Yatra in Puri, if it is easy possible. So we can also do, like last year we did Snan Purnima.
We did Snan
Yatra last year. And luckily this year, the Braja festival starting on the day of Rath Yatra in Puri. And that whole week is like Jagannath week. So if we can do this chariot festival here also, and we can write all devotees in announcement that we're going to do this, then they can schedule accordingly and they can come. Instead of coming Wednesday and Thursday, they can come Monday to participate in the Rath Yatra. Yes.
Always something tricky to get them to come.
That's the trick.
Very beginning. Also, Maharaj, the theme for the whole week could also be, Lord Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes.
And devotees, they're preparing drama also accordingly.
Drama play,
Yeah.
theme, topic, speaking on these glories.
Yes.
We will discuss. It's a very good idea.
Yes, if you can, it's good. Because the same day is Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri, so why can't we just do here? We have chariot here, and we can advertise in advance. Please come Monday morning to attend Rath Yatra.
Hare Krishna. Vancha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo.
And this morning there was another proposal. Now the boss is here. That Gurudev's appearance is on 21st, means Saturday. And there's some devotees I have heard coming from LA. So Sunday noon, we can have Mahaprabhu and Radha Govinda Mahabhishek. And we have so many devotees. With Panchamrit, yogurt, milk, yogurt, ghee, Panchamrit, Abhishek of